Welcome back to the channel Awareness Laws. This is the Master Manifesto. This is the teacher of the law of assumption. And I love meeting you pushed out, especially for those people that are actually watching these videos. Your life has changed automatically. Coming across me, come across a person that simplifies the teachings of the law of assumption without actually being exhaustive on any topics. So today's topic that I want to talk about is you don't have to know how your manifestation will happen. The reason why you don't have to know how your manifestation will happen is based on the fact that your manifestation has already happened. So, since now you have already become that version, for example, if you are seeking to become a certain person in your life and you know that you already are that person, when for that manifestation to happen, you have to let it go. In other words, you have to let the flow of the universe of God to be able to make it happen. When it happens, you will not have been able to understand that it would happen the way that it happened. This is the power and the miraculous life that the assumptions that you are having bring. For example, whenever God wanted to go to Barbados, he did not know how he was going to Barbados. Abdullah could have just simply given Neville Goddard the money to go to Barbados, but Abdullah gave him a life talent or a life principle or a life gem that Neville Goddard would always be able to use, and that was the state akin to sleep, and what you sleep thinking will be manifested in the three-dimensional world. And walking in the wish fulfilled during the course of the day, it will actually come to you, the desire that you have. He gave him something that is worth more than any money. Because Abdullah did have the money for Neville Goddard to go to Barbados. But Abdullah gave Neville Goddard a lifetime wealth, which has been passed on down even to us. So what I mean by this is that all you have to do is to know that it has already happened. You have to sleep knowing that it has already happened. How it happens, it will come to you. So most of the time, we try to control situations by always trying to check how is it going to happen, when is it going to happen. You understand? That is the reason why it ends up being a situation of you always checking. It doesn't end up happening because you're always checking. You don't understand that it has already happened. The moment that within yourself you have seen it, it has already happened. Then the universe, let the universe now bring it to you. The universe will move the world for you. In other words, every person is you. So, in other words, there are 8 billion opportunities for you once you have a desire, especially if you trust God within or the universe within you. So this is why now for most people, they are unable to get things in their life. It is because they want to know how it is going to happen. Once you know that it has already happened, the how process will begin to form itself. The how process will actually happen for you. I was reading a book called The Power of the I Am by Joel Osteen. So in this book, there's a story of a man who was poor. This man was very poor. This man wanted nothing else in life but just a good life. He was a pastor. His neighbor was a farmer. The neighbor who was a farmer had hundreds of cows or cattle. So he would actually be bartering with the village, selling milk to the people in the village so that the people in the village could have food on the table or could have that source of milk or production or dairy in their homestead. But the problem was that this rich man ended up charging extra fees. He was ridiculously expensive. What happened mystically is that the cows of the rich man, farmer next door, the pastor, went to the poor pastor's house and they started to graze in that poor pastor's yard. And as they grazed in that poor pastor's yard, there were 10 of these cows doing this. They did it continuously, consecutively, days on end, until the rich man said, to his workers, you know what? Give that poor pastor my cows. What ended up happening, it was a gift that came to the pastor. He used those cows to start a business, the same business of milking and producing dairy and products for the community, selling dairy milk to the community. So what ended up happening is that he ended up giving the community at a good price, a price that he knew the community members would be able to afford. And then what actually happened is that people started to buy that milk. People started to get excited to buy that milk and also to support his business. It began to boom to the point that the rich man ran out of business. He came to him and said, you know what? I can't compete with you. Please buy my company. So he ended up expanding his business. He ended up now buying the portion of that business. You understand? And then he ended up now being a very successful person in his life. He ended up from being a poor pastor to actually owning a big business that was able to sustain him and his generations to come. Did he know how this was going to happen? He didn't know how. It was because he had put it out there that he is successful, that he has everything that he needs because God is with him. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. What happens is that you will get an inspired action. What happens is that there will be incidences that occur in your life. Opportunities will present themselves to you and then you act upon those opportunities. Not knowing how it's going to happen does not mean sitting and relaxing. It just means allowing the universe to bring it to you and you to take advantage of every situation because you already are that version. You're already successful in your inner world. So when it comes to you, automatically it will be sustained and it will be a success. I just want to thank you and I want you to trust the power of God in you. I want you to trust the power of the universe or source or whatever you believe as the creator of creations within you. Once you start to trust this power and know that you have everything, everything will be given unto you because you already have what you need and you don't need anything. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the video and have a wonderful, wonderful day.